Okay, so you might have seen that video of me and my brother. We went out in Midway, Utah. We went winter camping. I'm just doing this video because some people might be interested in what we used. Some people might not be. If you're not, then you can go watch something else. But cool things here. I'm going to give some tips as well. Like I've said in my other videos, I'm not a pro. I do have some advice. I don't have all of it. So you can definitely go and look around YouTube. Try and find out as much as you can. That's what I do when I go out and do this stuff. I don't just go out, carrying a bunch of equipment. I first research a little bit what I need, and I get advice from as many people as possible. I don't just do stupid stuff and hurt myself. So I wanted to just go over a few things. In the video, I used this axe. Excellent axe. It's the Gransfors Bruks. They're quite popular. If you haven't heard of them, you're hearing about it now. These things are awesome. If you want an axe that cuts, that chops and splits wood, this is the kind of axe you want. These things, when you get them, they're razor sharp. They'll actually cut hair on your arm. I went and cut, I cut a lot of wood. It doesn't nearly, it still takes some. I mean, I can get a hair or two. It's hard to see it. There's one right there. I can still cut some of my hairs on my arm with it, but when I initially got it, it trimmed right through my hair. So these things are sharp. The metal on them is excellent. They keep an edge. Like, you'll be amazed. If you ever bought one of those axes at some hardware store that's made in China, you're probably witnessed to some of the bad axes that you can buy. But this one, it's excellent. It's still as sharp. It's not razor sharp how it was when I first got it, but cuts through wood like no other. Another thing that I think is important when you go out is you also have a sawiver or something to help process wood, because I don't think the axe is the only method of getting your wood processed. It takes a lot of energy sometimes. In my video, I didn't film the whole chopping of the tree down because I chose a big tree, which was a mistake, and I've since learned from that now, and I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to choose a smaller tree. So in future videos, you'll see me chop the whole tree down. But things that you're going to want are some nice gloves. I'm using the Mechanix when I was chopping that tree, and they have a nice padding inside them, as you can see right here in the palm, and also right at these knuckles. These are all padded. So when you're getting impact, you're not going to feel nearly as much. And that's important because, I mean, the last thing you want is some major blisters or something all over your hands because you're slamming at that tree or chopping wood. I mean, you want to enjoy yourself as well. And so this helps protect you. This also helps protect you if you're splitting wood a little bit closer up. I mean, if you're holding a piece of wood and you're about to hit the axe on it, you want to have something on this hand protecting it, because the razor sharp axe could just go and slice your finger. Maybe not take it off, but you're going to bleed. You're going to have to get your medical kit out. You're going to have to take care of that wound. It's going to take time. So anyhow, gloves, important. Another thing, winter camping. I would definitely take some kind of lubricating oil. This here is it's firearm oil. It's for hops 9. You can sort of read there. It's for firearms and all mechanisms. I'll actually use this sometimes on wood. I'll use it on, so you can see right here. High viscosity gives lasting protection and lubrication, cleans and protects woodwork, keeps rust away. You don't want your $120 axe to rust. So you get your lubricant and you make sure you oil that axe up once you're done with it, because you're going to get snow on it. It's going to get wet. And so you got to take care of your tool. Otherwise, next time you go out, it's not going to nearly perform as well as it should. Another thing is you want to sharpen your tool. I still need to sharpen mine. This is the Lansky sharpeners. I've used it for knives. I haven't used it on my axe yet because I've seen people use the what are they? The stones that you just rotate along the axe to sharpen it. And I'm kind of waiting to get one of those before I sharpen my axe up again. And so that's important. Sharpen your tools. You know, don't let them get dull. Otherwise, they're not going to help you in the forest. Oil your tools when you're out in the snow. I mean, you may even want to oil your tools when you're out doing summer camping because you never know, there might be moisture in the wood. And so that gets on your axe and you cover it up, you put it away. It ends up rusting you next time you use it, you know. These things rust quite easily. They're sharp, they're strong steel, but they rust, and that's the downfall of that. Bring a nice knife with you. This is a finished knife here. I've got mine way sharp right now. I mean, it's razor sharp, and I keep it that way so I can create some shivers of wood or whatever I need to create a fire. Last thing I wanted to talk about was the stove I used. I really like the stove I've got. It's called the Eta. It's the Eta Primus multi-fuel stove. I haven't shown the multi-fuel function of it, and I really haven't had to use it yet. I got the stove because I wanted the option if I was to use it, because you never know when you're not going to have a butane canister with fuel in it. I mean, you might be out in the forest and all you got is gasoline from your car, and so with this stove you can fill this canister up with your gasoline from your car, and basically it comes with this cap. You'd fill it up with gasoline, you'd put the pump in, you'd pressurize it. After you pressurized it, then all you'd have to do is get the actual stove out, and once you did that, you'd have to prime it. So you'd initially get it going. So I mean, after you pump it, you make sure it's on the right side. So there's an on here and there's an off. When it's up this side, off, it doesn't have any fuel come out. The way it works is basically this is slanted, so it doesn't go into the fuel. So you pump that up, you turn it on, it would heat up there, and after this pipe heats up, then the gas would come through and it would vaporize, and so you get a blue flame, kind of like what you get with your butane. Pretty much like what you get with your butane, but it's a lot dirtier, and that's why I don't like to use it, because then I'd have to clean my stove a whole lot more. And so I try and just use this as much as possible. The main thing is, if you're going to use butane in snow environments, you have to make sure that you do not let your butane canister freeze. Because if you let it freeze, you're going to have a hard time cooking with it. These things, the canisters, they get cold. You should keep it in your jacket or in your sleeping bag when you're sleeping. You just want to make sure you do that, because otherwise you're not going to have a butane canister to fuel your stove. Yeah, you can have a fire, but you know, you might not have a fire. Maybe you're out of firewood and you want to cook some food. Well, if you had taken your butane canister and kept it in your coat or in your sleeping bag, you'd be eating. If you left it out, it would freeze and you'd be in trouble. Anyhow, this is a nice stove. It burns hot, burns quick, and I've really enjoyed using it. It served me well. I've used it on a hunting trip. I've used it when I went snowmobiling. I've used it when I went camping in the winter. The pots in this are excellent. They come with these bottoms that help distribute the heat at the bottom of the pot, so you can boil water much faster in this than you can in a normal pan or pot. It also comes with a get this out real quick. Oh. Comes with a heat shield that actually installs onto this part here. This might be kind of hot, so I'm trying to do this so I can show you guys. So alright, so basically when it's windy, you can put this sucker on and you can see that protects it. You're going to use less fuel. It's going to be more efficient, and that's the whole idea behind this system here, is that you get a very efficient system that you use less fuel from. Anyhow, so yeah, when that's on top of it, you can see how it's really tight fit there, so you're not going to have to worry about wind destroying your cooking session. It also comes with a really nice handle here, which you may have seen in the film. You can easily pick up hot pans, and you can pour the water, or whatever you're cooking. You can pour the water into your Mountain House meal, and you're good to go. You also have a little mat that comes with it. I've just crumpled it up. I use it to protect the nonstick part of this. But yeah, this will serve as a top to protect from stuff getting into it, and it also helps to keep your water from vaporizing when you're cooking, so you don't lose as much. And you can also use it to fry something on. I've never done that, and I'm guessing it's not going to be nearly as good. You have to take the heat shield off because it really doesn't fit very well there. It might work though. It's a little bit harder to get to. But anyhow, those are the things that I'd just like to say. You might want to keep in mind when you're going out winter camping. You know, make sure you bring some lubrication for your tools so they don't rust. Make sure that your tools are sharpened so that they actually perform properly and you don't have to use nearly as much energy while you're out there. And if you bring butane and propane, make sure that you keep that canister warm, that it stays with you in your jacket or it stays in your sleeping bag when you sleep in the sleeping bag. And those are just a few of the tips I'd want to put out there. Like I said, I'm not a pro. It's just a few things that I'd like to say. Anyone, if you like this little video here, please do tell your friends, share it with others. The better you are informed on this stuff, the better you're going to be out there when you go winter camping or anything really. Anyhow, I'll see you guys.